Namaste everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Candice and today I have an intermediate class with a focus on the legs, so particularly on hamstrings and also opening up the shoulders. We're going to have a peak pose today of Bird of Paradise. This is actually a request from one of you and I thought I haven't used Bird of Paradise in my personal practice for so long that it would actually be quite fun to bring the asana back and just see how I get on, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Now it's a really tough pose. It's not something I've ever been very good at, or I'm not very good at making a Bird of Paradise look perfect, but that's okay. Asanas don't have to look perfect. Doesn't matter if you can't straighten your leg, it doesn't matter if you fall out of it, just have a go. And just because you can't do a certain asana, it doesn't mean you're not intermediate, and it doesn't mean that you're not experienced. Because being experienced and being intermediate is actually about understanding the deeper levels of yoga and what yoga is truly about, which of course is not about the physical practice. That's just a very small part of yoga. So I really hope you guys just have fun with it, enjoy the process. We're going to be focusing a lot on some stretches of the hamstrings. There will be some power in this class too, so I'm going to call it a little bit of a Vinyasa Yin class with a focus on the legs. So I hope you enjoy it. You don't need any props. If you would like to, you can have a yoga block handy. I'm going to have one just for some of our stretches. So we're going to begin in a staff pose, lifting the heels off the ground, so engaging the quads. Close the eyes and just come to the breath. Finding some neck rolls here. Back to center. Inhale, arms to the sky. And taking a deep fold. Now it's the first fold, so feel free to bend the knees if you need to. You can use your block to go a little deeper if your body is opening up for you. And then slowly rolling up. Let's take a straddle fold. Using your block if you wish. taking a side stretch over towards the right leg, tilting the chest to the sky. And then fold down towards that right leg, head to shin. Taking it to the other side. Side body stretch to the left. And then folding towards that left shin. Come on up. Making our way into downward facing dog. Making the feet as wide as the mat, taking a twist to the left, grabbing the left ankle, and then swapping sides to the right. Back to the left, keep going, just taking turns, swapping from left to right. Last time to the right. Back to your down dog, rolling to plank. And take a vinyasa. Downward facing dog, 2 more just like that. Roll to plank. Vinyasa. Down dog. 1 more. Roll to plank. Vinyasa. Down dog. Jump to Malasana, yogi squat. Find a bind behind the right knee to start with. Look over to the left. Release, take it to the other side. Back to center. Rolling all the way into a forward fold. And then roll yourself to mountain. Heel toe your feet together. Fold once again. Rolling to mountain. 2 more times, folding and then back to mountain. Pull yourself close to your legs. One more. Inhale, mountain. Taking a dancer's pose on the right side. Kicking up high. Releasing that foot in front of you, right leg extends, hold. Into your warrior 3. Step back, high lunge. Open up warrior 2. Now find a bind through that left leg. Slowly come out warrior 2. Send it down to the right leg for Skandasana. Side lunge. And find a bind over towards that right leg. Tilt the chest, look to the sky. Release that bind, come back up, warrior 2. Finding a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Jump to forward fold. Half lift and fold. into your mountain. Taking dancer's pose, left side. Kick up high into that foot. Start to release, extend left leg and hold. Into warrior 3. High lunge. Warrior 2. Finding that bind. Back to your warrior 2. Coming down to Skandasana towards the left leg. Finding that bind to that left leg. Release your bind. Coming up to warrior 2. And Vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, step it forwards, pyramid pose. Fold nice and deep, get into that hamstring. Lift the toes off the ground, point them to the sky to go deeper. Bend into the front knee, low lunge. into half split, half Hanumanasana. Now use your block if you need to and come down for a split. You might want to use your block to sit on. A full split is not in your practice. Try to keep your hips nice and square, facing forwards. Maybe play around with a back bend and then folding over the front leg. If it feels right, you can always try moving that block out of the way. And potentially coming down to a full split or maybe just a little lower. And then shimmy your hips back into your half Hanumanasana, half split pose. And finding a vinyasa. Same thing on the other side. Left leg lifts. Look forward, step into your pyramid. Start off with the toes on the ground. And then lift the toes off the ground for a deeper hamstring stretch here. This side may feel tighter, especially if you're left-handed, right-handed. That's okay. And then roll forward into a low lunge. And then sending your hips back, half split Hanumanasana, half Hanumanasana. Maybe you can use your block and start to shimmy your hips down into a split pose. Finding that back bend and a fold over the front leg. Just getting a little deeper into that stretch. And if possible, you can remove the block out the way and see if you can get a little deeper. Maybe that won't work for this side, and that's okay too. Just see how far you can go. You can always use your hands to keep you supported. And then start to move your hips back into your half split. Coming on forward, finding a vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Jump to the top of the mat, half lift, fold. Now just interlace your fingers behind you, allow them to fall over your head. Half lift and fold again. We're going to attempt our bird of paradise. Just walk your feet hip distance, bend into the left or the right leg, whichever side you want to start on. I'm going to start on the right. Wrap your right arm underneath your right leg and find a bind. Just look to the left. You can just hold this just for a moment. Okay, so slowly bend the left knee and we're going to start to come up, holding that right leg with our bind. Keep the leg bent if you'd like to, but you can play around with straightening it, lifting it up to the sky. Don't worry if it's not straight, don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. And then from there, bend your right leg, release the grip of your hands, keep it lifted towards your chest. And then slowly send the right leg back down to the ground. Inhale to mountain and fold. Well done. Don't worry if that didn't look very graceful. Interlace your fingers behind you, stretching the shoulders once again. Inhale, half lift. fold, bend through the left leg, find that bind. Bend the right leg as well, and then very slowly come on up. Using the power of the right leg, lift your left leg off the ground. You can always just keep it bent, no need to straighten. If you want to play around with trying to straighten it, just do your best. It may not get very close. And slowly bend that leg again. Release the grip of your arms and hug that left knee towards your chest. And draw it to the ground, mountain. Fold. Half lift. And find a vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Well done. Whatever you did in your bird of paradise is totally fine. That's where your practice is today. You may have seen mine. It wasn't graceful at all. That's okay. Coming down to tabletop, taking some cat cows. Into puppy pose. Roll into your tabletop, taking some some thread the needle over towards the left. Swap sides. Coming back onto your heels, make your way into a bridge pose. Rolling the spine down, coming back for plow pose. rolling down. Just taking a happy baby here. Maybe it feels good to just rock from side to side, rocking out the spine. Straighten the legs. And then very slowly make your way into Savasana, your final resting pose. Bringing your body back to a place of rest, breathing naturally. I'll stay here with you for 2 minutes of total silence, just being at one with this moment together. You can stay as long as you like, but I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful meditation. Namaste.